You know, being in this oppressive regime, a Nazi oppressive regime, you know, teach you patience and also teach you that injustice actually does exist. You know, in the past when I used to say it lightly, you know what I mean? Fear is not real. Fear is not real, but evil is. Because fear is a state of mind. Your mind, like you're afraid because it's an emotion. But evil is real. Evil is real. Okay? Look at what's happening to the Palestinian. Isn't it that evil? You know, I watched a video yesterday on Al Jazeera, you know, and they are shipping people, Palestinians, out of Palestine, one way out to South Africa, and with no return. So, what do you mean, no return? They're not allowed to, no, not Palestinians are not allowed to go on vacation. They're not allowed to go to seek medical attention somewhere else. They're not allowed just to get out of town for a while. You go to out of the country, you know? Why one way out? On top of that, they charge, you know, each one of them $2,500 US to fly them out on this chartered airline. And plane, it's not an airline, it was a plane. And nobody's claiming responsibility. Nobody's claiming responsibility for these people being shipped out of their home country. And basically, that not allowing them to go back home. But that policy existed a long time ago. That policy existed for a long time, where the Israeli, they have a policy only created to Palestinian. Anybody who's actually Palestinian, they're not allowed to leave the country. If you leave, you're not allowed in. This policy was for a long time. But then they have a policy for those Jews globally. A policy is called inheritance right. It's called inheritance right. Basically, anybody who's Jewish are allowed to apply for inheritance right. Basically, you can come to Israel, you get a passport, and you can also get, if you want to buy a land, you're allowed to buy a land in Israel. So now they're shipping these people, and basically they're not paying them for any other land. They're not paying, and it's not done with their own free will, you know? Isn't it this was happening since the 40s, 48? This has been going on for a long time. You know, they said, oh, they sold the land to us. They sold their land to us. But that is not true. Look at it now. Are they being paid? No. Are they willingly leaving? No. They were made to leave. You know, when somebody come and demolish your house, and you living in the street with family and kids, what people do? People leave. Okay. Yeah, people leave because they want a better life for their kids and their family, whatever, and they lost everything. The house is gone, the building is gone. Where are they gonna go? You understand? You understand why these people left? But who gave you the right to say they're not allowed to come back? So They are erasing the citizenship of Palestinians from their land. Okay? Look it up, guys, in the Jazeera. Was it Jazeera? Or democracy.com or not? I think Al Jazeera. Was it Al Jazeera? Yeah. Basically, they send charter plane to South Africa. And they said that South African government, they did not know these people are being shipped there. Do you believe that? No, I believe that it was calculated, it was done. They have they knew far, you know what I mean? They're gonna dump the Palestinian into South Africa and take their land. This is not fair, and look at the state of the world today, what's happening globally. My home country, Sudan, is being at war with people who are not even Sudanese. People coming from Chad and all those other countries, like Congo or all those places, fighting in Sudan because of the resources. Because the United States and all those four governments, New World Order, whatever, they want the oil, they want the uranium, they want the gold. And how would that be fair? Tell me. People are being displaced globally because you have something they want. You know what I'm saying? I haven't lived in Sudan for a long time, but for the people who are living in Sudan, they want to go back home. That's not possible. I cannot dig my mom up from Canada and take her to Sudan until that war ends. So the system is broken, and the system is broken, and it's serving the wealthy, and they have no care in the world about who they're harming because of if Sudan was poor, what they say, all those countries, African countries, are poor. No, they're not. Okay? They're going around picking countries. They say they want this one, that. Nigeria. What did he say? He says he wanted Nigeria too. So he goes around, Donald Trump, picking countries that have resources that they want and displacing people globally. Displacing people globally because you have something they want. My vision, but I'm pretty sure God agrees. I don't know, but God will tell me. My vision is there will not be any drilling. There will not be any drilling, fracking. Resources that resources like basically being collected globally and whatnot. My vision, we don't need all of that. Is it important for us to get the gold out? No, it's not. It's just greed. You don't need the gold. Is it important to get the oil out? No, it's not. Because we have the sun. We can create, and I'm watching also a lot of YouTube channels where they're creating unlimited electricity generators. So diamond is not important. No, you don't have to wear diamond. You understand? Gold, you don't have to wear gold. So all these things are done out of personal greed. It's not really benefiting humanity in any shape or form. And the people who are suffering are the people who are actually being displaced. The people being displaced globally, and they are the ones who are suffering. Why you have to be, being displaced and being going, the oil countries in Sudan. The oil country in Sudan is a Canadian oil country. A company. As soon as they came to Sudan, the war broke. you know. And what's happening is, out of just personal greed, these people they have millions. How many millions do you need before you think is enough? Never enough, you know. But the good thing is, I've been learning, you know, from Holy Quran, people who are going to hell first are the wealthiest. You know that? Yeah, true story, guys. Because your money is not given to you so you could oppress people. It's not given to you so you could live a happy, abundance life. You know, it was given to you because to help others. You know, wealth is given to you to help others. You know, so when you are given this money, if somebody knock on your door and says they have nothing to eat, you're supposed to help that person because you're living in a freaking palace. Okay? That's the idea. Okay? That's why God is sending them to hell first. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand God, you understand why. I just explained to you why. I watched a video, it says they are the first to go. The three are the first to go to hell. But they didn't say why. And I'm explaining to you why one of them. I'm gonna look up the others. I'm gonna look up the other two. I'm gonna explain to you why these two are going. I gotta find that video because I watch a lot of videos on a daily basis. So anyhow, it's but it's not really hard to understand God. The logic behind God. Yeah, some of the stuff God only knows, because it would not really make sense to you why it's happening. But if you really take a deeper look at what you've been given, then you'll understand why God did that, you know? Yeah, so some of the things are, it has a deeper meaning. You have to really, really study about God to understand why He's done. You know, the wisdom behind it. Because it would not make sense to you. You know? It's similar to people telling me on YouTube, how could you believe a God you have not seen? How could you believe a creator never showed their face to you? The creator doesn't have to show his face to me for me to believe. I look at myself and I can see I did not create me. I know you're gonna say my parents did. Who created my parents? Okay, we can go on this. Who created this for a long time? Where you get the source. You get to the source. You understand? So I don't have to believe someone or God or whatever you guys saying on YouTube. I have not seen. I don't need to see God to know that God exists. I use His logic and wisdom. Thank God gave me one, you know. Gave me a lot of things, guys. I've been talking about this. Okay? God is being very generous with me. You know, remember when I was partying up and partying, fornicating, doing all of that. You know, remember the time I said I can create a better human body? Remember that? And then I've gone into this studying about human body. I don't even like anatomy. You know what I'm saying? It's not my forte. I care about designing, making things look better, development, innovation. That's what I care about, you know? How to make life easier for humanity. You understand? For the betterness for humanity. You understand? That's me. I don't care about, getting a law degree or going back to Stanford. Thank you. Okay? I don't care about none of that. Okay? And when you understand that, It's not, we're not, all the 144,000 world, not all have, we have our like and dislikes, just like everybody else. Okay? But it's very comforting. I've learned through my journey of learning, you know, the only prophet who had seen God face to face, the only prophet. It's not Jesus, Noah, not Abraham, not Moses, not, guess what, who? No, Moses actually. Sorry, I made that mistake. Yeah, Moses, who actually saw God. When he went to the mountain, he saw God face to face. He had spoken to him face to face, right? You understand? And guess where's Moses from? Sudan. Isn't it that interesting?